Hi everyone, I'm Owen and this is my medieval town square. Just reviewing this set for you, just going to show you around a few bits and pieces of it. It's a set I really value. I think it gives great bang for your buck if you like. And I'll make a comparison to the castle, which I've got out here again. So this is a set with so much detail to it, just hidden away little bits and pieces, and it's not too excessive on the price scale. So, particularly if you're comparing it to something like the castle, I would argue that actually you probably get a lot more out of it because it's varied in a much smaller scale, and lots of little bits and pieces. Very playable again, very displayable again as well. Because you can, just like the castle, you can display it either open like I've got it at the minute, or each of the sets can close down as well. And I'll show you that in a minute. So obviously you get this lovely consistent look with the castle as well, with this building first. Now this is the Queen's tax collector who lives in here. That's him in the middle, I think. As well as a painter, so I'll turn that around for you in a minute and you can see that detail. There is a little secret hidden compartment somewhere in one of the buildings, but that's not to do with it might be to do with the tax collector, but I think it's more likely tax avoidance rather than to do with him collecting the tax. So the kind of design overall of this little marketplace village is very kind of centered around sort of slightly artisanal, it's people making stuff, in a medieval kind of sense. So we've got, let's turn it around. So firstly, this building then is the tavern. So you've got sort of a tavern room downstairs, a kitchen, and then a little bedroom at the top. So you can see you've got lots of detail inside. Chess set with a game being played, a barrel, a pie cooling on the window, which you can probably see from the front better than you can see from here. And then the little bedroom at the top does indeed have a little secret compartment behind this sword. I can't do it, I guess I can. Which pulls out, which is kind of cool, which is somebody hiding their money from the taxman, I think is the kind of story there. So if I close that around again, you can see the front of the pub, the kind of tavern sign, and this lovely kind of design across the door frame as well, with the helmet and the two weapons there. There's a lovely little bard character who presumably plays the tavern. Then the second part of this building is this part which has the castle-like turret on it. Then a lovely little staircase going up the side, which then down the bottom you've got a painter's area, which is combined with like a little blacksmith. There's a little anvil in there. The painter's over here, and you can see that they're in the middle of painting some shields up as well. So kind of part armourer, part painter for that little area there. And then the upstairs room is, I think, intended to be the tax collector's rooms, which is pretty cool. I think that the tavern might be my favourite front of all of these buildings. So that's the first one. Then we've got a load of sort of little details, which is quite nice. Like I say, the painter's easel with the shields on it. We've got a log being cut, a little cart with some wares on it. Then we've got this little area with a little pond. What's nice about the tree? We've got some mushrooms, got some lovely details on it. We've also got some little posters on it, one of which is a warning about some kind of bandit with a hooded cloak who is hiding somewhere, I think. I think I put him on here somewhere. And the famous kind of missing goat thing, which used to be a bit more of a thing in Lego. There was a goat that was only available in one set, and it became a sort of a little bit of a joke celebrity amongst at least amongst the AFL community. And this year when they released this, there were two ways of getting a goat. that were released sort of anew as a kind of bringing that little character back. This was one of them, and there was also part of the Minifig series, I believe, where you could get the goat. And then on the other side, the poster on the other side is a warning about Basil the Bat Lord with his dragon steed. So that's kind of a fun, like, little detail. It also sort of brings everything together. Other little details that you get with the set. We've got a little weapon store with some items. This is, we'll see where this becomes relevant in a minute, but it's a design for a chair, and there indeed is the chair that's being designed. So that's for the carpenter. And then we've got, I think it's called a spinning jenny, but for taking wool and making it into thread, basically, I believe. So lots of kind of nice little details. So you can kind of set up sort of an outdoor market area with the houses around the outside, which is quite nice. Let's move on to this part. Let's move those out of the way. And these guys can come out. So this last part, we've got 3 sections to this bit. We've got a lovely garden area here with lots of vegetables being grown, a beehive and all sorts of wonderful things like that. And then inside that is a tapestry being made, along with some bobbins and those kind of things for the person making the tapestry. So that does come out. I shouldn't try and do it back here. So you can again have it as part of the sort of celebration of the market square kind of thing. And there's a sort of jousting competition with, again, the yellow castle from the 1970s on the top there. So that's that first one of these 3. The second one is a wheelwright. So he's got a nice crane out the front and various bits and pieces on the inside. And again, you can put more of the little details can live inside this one. It also has the removable roof. There's not a huge amount inside, but it has got this little turny, uppy-downy wheel, which is very cool, along with kind of a couple of axles in a barrel, kind of to show you that this is the guy that makes the wheels. This is the kind of building which I think is sort of weakest on its own, but it's a really nice kind of centerpiece to this. And actually, if you have them open, it kind of works as kind of a face building, but as soon as you start looking around the sides, it doesn't look quite as good as the others. But certainly closed up, it's rather nice. And if I show you around the back, then it's got a lovely awning around the back. And here are the aforementioned goats. So we've got a little grey goat, a little white goat, and a kid as well. So your 3 goats. Also a little squirrel here, and there's a little water trough for the goats. And that is because this guy here is the cheese maker. So he's got all the animals, and then if you open it up, he's got a vat of milk, which this little kitten is attacking currently. He's making cheese on the stove. We've got lots of little different shapes of cheese, and then yes, we've got the stall that he can have in the marketplace for all the cheese wares, which is again stuffed full of detail, that one. And then he's even got a sort of coat of arms out the front with crossed swords and a wheel of cheese, which is pretty cool. So lovely set, loads of details, can be set up in lots of different ways and displayed in lots of different ways. I'm going to try and set up as best I can with my shelf space. So I've got the castle and this all on one row, and there's the central barrier which I can't do anything about, but that's my plan, because then it all looks nice and can be together. And I imagine Jessica will play with that and adapt what goes where and how it's all set up. So a really lovely set. I think it might be retired now, which is a shame, but again I would say bang for your buck, and in fact scale wise it's not massively dwarfed by the castle. Like, in terms of piece scale, it really is, but in terms of what you can play with and how good it looks, I think it's a really good set. So I'm going to try and put all this back on my shelves in a different way. I've tried to tidy up my shelves a little bit. Not sure how well it's going because not enough space. The only thing I would say, and this is probably for a different review, but the one thing that I've always felt ashamed with the Castles stuff that came out more recently is the Medieval Blacksmith, which is a brilliant set, but really looks weird against these ones because it's a massive building. If you picture this just sort of scaled up a little bit, the problem is that you then put it next to the castle, it looks very odd indeed because the blacksmith seems as big as the castle. So in terms of my medieval stuff, that's my sort of, that's a shame. I don't think I'd want to change any of the sets particularly, but it is a shame that when you put them together, they don't look this same sort of scale across the board, which sort of breaks a little bit the suspension of disbelief that they're all the same thing, the same utility. But there we go. So I'm off to tidy up my shelves, but until next time, keep on building.